So it's time for another complainy, whiny, poo-poo video. This one is about incredible stupidity. I'm at a shipper. Alright, my hazards are on, and I'm going to leave them on, so this video is going to be slightly annoying. It's a Mopar Chrysler place. Actually, I'm going to turn them off. In Streetsboro, Ohio. There it is. And here's the thing. I got dispatched on it. I have an empty trailer. Now, typically, the industry standard that everyone follows so far that I've ever been to is you come in with an empty, you drop it, you pick up a loaded trailer, and you leave. Or you come in with an empty, they load your trailer while you're attached to it, and then you leave. This place? No. This place is an idiot. I have been here once before, but I was delivering, and when I delivered, they didn't have an empty to give me. But then Swift said, oh yeah, come back in the morning, they'll have more. And then they didn't. They never had an empty. But I just thought, okay, they're using all their trailers. But then I get this load, and it did say in the message, it said, do not, or they said you have to bobtail in. But I've had a ton of other ones say you cannot bobtail in. And then they call me and say, oh yeah, you can bobtail there. If I've been on home time or something, I don't have an empty yet. The message specifically says, no, you can't bobtail. And then Swift tells me, oh yeah, you can just bobtail there. So I figured this was the same thing, just in reverse. But it's not. I get to the gate, and the guy's like, oh, you got your paperwork? And I'm like, oh, I'm picking up. And he's like, we don't take empties here. And of course, not nice about it or anything. He just, we don't take empties here. I'm like, well, I didn't know that. He's like, well, Swift knows that. Swift knows that. They should have told you, or something, whatever. So I turn around and I left. Now I'm sitting outside it. Now here's the stupid thing. Okay, now I have this empty trailer. It's 7:05. I was supposed to pick up at 7. The planners for Ohio just came in. So now one of them has to find me somewhere to drop this empty. Then I have to drive back here, pick up the load late, and then deliver it only 40 miles away, probably also late, because it has to be there by 8:30 at the absolute latest. So, unless they can find me a place that's like 15 minutes away to drop this in the next 5 minutes, so I can go there, get back here, pick up the load really quick, and be out of here by like 7:45 or something, I'm going to be late delivering too. And I'm getting paid 37 miles. It's a 41 mile load. So it's like I could mow my neighbor's lawn and make the same amount of money. And I don't know if they're going to plan me on anything else after, because it's been kind of crappy the last few days with the miles. And I think it's because I've got home time coming up and they're trying to keep me close to home. And I have a decent amount of hours, but the amount of hours rolling back aren't that high, so I think they're trying to make sure I don't run out of hours. But it's like 37 miles, and then I've got an empty that I can't even drop here, and I don't see why. It's a big yard. I can see spots for empties at the back. They could definitely take it, but whatever. They're not going to. So, I guess if I ever come here again... The other thing, though, here's the other thing, alright? My last load was loose tires from Michelin. It took them over 2 hours to unload it, which I expected because, it's loose tires. They have to manually, take them out of the trailer. So it's like, okay. But the thing is, the time it took to unload, then for me to drive to the place I stopped last night, and then my post-trip and my pre-trip, all that stuff combined, by the time I left the rest area that I was at last night, I got here 10 minutes early. So, if I would have had to find a place to drop this trailer before, I would have probably still been late. So it's like, what's going on? I even got to the last final early. I got there, I think, 20 minutes or half an hour early. And still, so if I would have got there on time, I would have been late getting to this place in the first place with a trailer, and then I would have been late again, and it's really annoying. I don't understand it, but things will get better, I'm sure. I mean, it's Wednesday. I'm only going to be out a couple more days, and then I'm going home for the weekend. So, you know, I'll come back out. I have a full 70. I'll probably be getting some decent stuff. But, I don't know. This just stinks. But, that's the thing. It's like, when do you listen to what the messages say? Because half the time they've got stuff in them that isn't even right. Like, the tires and the Walmart load I had a while ago that was mulch both said that I was going to have to tailgate it, where you go in the trailer, you bring the stuff out, and then they unload it from the back of the trailer. And I didn't have to do that on either of them. There's always things in those messages that sometimes don't apply. Like, there's been a lot of them that say things about lumper pay and how, you know, it's going to be there and then it's not. I haven't had to do that yet, which I'm very happy about, because I'm sure it's not that hard to fill out the comm checks and everything, but I've never done it and I don't want to deal with it. But, yeah, there's stuff in those messages a lot that doesn't apply. I mean, some of them even, they've said stuff about Walmart, and I'm not even dealing with Walmart. Like, I'm doing some, like, one of them was from Nestle to Nestle, and it was saying something about Walmart and lumper pay. And it's like, none of that applied to the load at all. So, I don't really know. Because, you know, I always read them. I always read them and see what they say, because there's certain things that you know, some of them say, you know, don't get here more than 15 minutes early, don't get here more than half an hour early, you know, have the trailer swept out before you get here, make sure the trailer is less than this number of years old, things like that. And I always check, you know, those. But this one, they dispatched me on it. So I figured, okay, this is one of those exception things where, you know, they say I can't bobtail in, but I can. And speaking of that, I'm not wasting my on-duty time. I'm going off. Alright. So yeah, I'm just sitting here, waiting for them to figure out where to send this thing. It's 7:10, so I'm 10 minutes late already. So that's super good. And, yeah, that was the other thing. That the guy at the guard office, he was bumbling around in there for like 10 minutes before he even opened the door. So, I don't know. He was like sweeping and moving the monitor around, messing with the blinds, and like he was just sitting there when I walked up to the door, and as soon as I got to the door, he just started doing a bunch of crazy nonsense. So, I don't know. I don't like this place. This is one of the ones that goes on the garbage can list, which is pretty short. There's not much on it. This place is probably about it. There was one other spot that had like a really tight yard that I couldn't actually back into the door. Which it was... while I'm complaining, I might as well complain about this, even though it was a long time ago. They had already loaded the trailer, and then when I got there, they're like, oh yeah, we need to put an extra thing on there. So they wanted me to back into the door, and I thought, okay, that shouldn't be a problem, except I, for some reason, could not get into that door. And I think it's because they had the tandems all the way up. So, like, the way I was trying to... I wasn't used to that. I was used to them being farther back, because it was back near when I started. It's like I could probably have done it now. But their drop yard was really small, too. There were no spaces that I could get my empty into, so I ended up just having to, like, leave it off to the side, like a bunch of other people did, but... yeah, I'll stop complaining now. Because one of those things, you know, you always feel like voicing your negatives, and positive or neutral things just never get, like, brought out. You know, like, I've been having problems with my Amazon tablet, and the one I had before that they replaced. And, you know, I only, like, complain about it because it's broken. But I never say, oh, yeah, this thing's working great now. Because right now it's fine. I apparently fixed it. Now it's working fine and everything. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and stop making this video. And, yeah, right now, it says I'm going to get to the place I'm supposed to go at 8. So there's no way I'm going to make it on time. Because it's not going to only take a half hour for me to go drop this trailer and go and come back here, get loaded, and leave, because I haven't even gotten a plan to send me anywhere. I'm sorry this video is 10 minutes long. That's ridiculous.